Hey there everybody, it's Deb. I'm from Cooking with Mo and Deb. I am making cowboy candy. Have you ever heard of it? It's not like, sour gummies or some chocolate candy. It is jalapeno hot candy. So I've got some jalapenos, got quite a few of them here that I'm working with. And I learned the hard way to use gloves. So always wear gloves when you're dealing with jalapenos because they are very hot and your hands will feel it for a while. Like I said, I learned the hard way and I suffered for about 24 hours before my hands were not dying, before I was not dying. So what you do is, like I said, wear your gloves, and I'm just gonna cut these jalapenos in rings. And that means that the seeds and the membranes are still there. So this will probably be quite hot. If you don't want it to be really, really hot, I've already cut a couple of jalapenos in half and taken out some of the seeds and membranes. And with those, I'm just going to still cut them into half rings. And I'm gonna add them all to my mixture that makes the cowboy candy. I'm gonna show you how I did that, how I took those membranes out. So I cut the jalapeno in half, and the way I do it is I just take a spoon and I just kind of scoot the spoon in underneath that membrane, and it takes it right out just like that. And if there's a little left, you can still take your spoon and scoot out the rest. And it also takes out your seeds, but if you want to leave a few of them in there because maybe you like it a little bit hotter, you can leave some of those seeds, and that'll keep you with a little bit of heat. So this recipe calls for 5 jalapenos. So that's what I've got cut right here. I'm going to double my recipe, and so I'm going to keep cutting jalapenos till I've got 10 all ready for my juice mixture. And I'll come right back because it's got to cook, so I'm going to show you the juice mixture that you're going to put all these jalapenos in as soon as I get them all cut up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I am doubling my my cowboy candy recipe. You can see my jalapenos all cut up. I've already mixed up one batch of my mixture, my juice mixture, but I'm going to go ahead and I decided to double the recipe since I have so many jalapenos. So I'm going to make another batch and just add it right here because I've got to cook. This has got to cook and come to a boil. And it's already smelling pickly. And I think that this vinegar is what's doing that. It's apple cider vinegar. You need 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar. 3/4 cup of sugar. Chili powder is 3/4 teaspoon of chili powder. That's 1/4, and here's 1/2. Turmeric, you need 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. And then you need and then you need 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. I have dried ginger, and so that's what I'm using. Okay, so we're going to mix this up, and then it's going to cook on the stove top until it boils. And when it boils, I'll add my jalapenos. So I've doubled the recipe, so it's going to make about, it says 6 small jars, and they will keep in the refrigerator for 1 to 3 months. We like to have these with chili, or they'll be good on sandwiches. Or maybe nachos, something like that. So I'm going to get this started on the stove, and I'll come back when we're putting the jalapenos into the pan. So you can see my jalapenos all chopped up and ready to go. I've still got my mixture cooking. I'm waiting for it to come to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, then I'll add my jalapenos, and then they cook for 4 minutes. And while they're cooking, I'll be getting together some jars to put them in. So I just wanted you to see the sauce because it smells really good. It smells very pickly. So that's gonna kind of make your jalapenos a pickled jalapeno or cowboy candy. So I'll be back for more in just a minute. So my mixture has started to boil. I'm starting to add my jalapenos. I wish you could smell it. It just smells so, so good. Remember, I'm still using my gloves. If you're handling hot jalapenos, make sure you're wearing gloves. And since this has come to a boil, I'm adding my jalapenos and I'm turning the eye down. And these have got to simmer for 4 minutes before I put them into jars. And the recipe also says that you need to wait for about a week to eat them. That's just so that your candy can get the mixture can all get together and all the flavors come together and get into your jalapenos. So, gonna let this cook for about 4 minutes while I gather up some jars, and I'll be ready to put it in jars in just a few minutes. I'll be back then. It's ready. Cowboy Candy is ready. This is what it looks like. And I've got some jars. I got kind of very small jars that I'm putting it in. So let me dish out a little bit here into this one jar. Just pouring the jalapenos in, and I'm taking a spoon to kind of push them down in the jar because I want to get plenty of them in each jar. You probably won't eat a whole lot of these at one setting, so that's why I'm putting them into such small jars. And I want to make sure I have plenty of juice in the jar too. The juice is the pickling juice, and that's what's going to make them taste so much like candy. It's going to be that hot, sweet kind of taste that's going to make them so good. So I've got plenty of jalapenos and juice in that one. And I have a lid to put on my jar. And I have a ring to put around it. So that is my jalapeno, my Cowboy Candy. That's what it looks like. So I gotta wait a few days before I can actually taste it and really get the good flavor from it. The recipe says to wait for a week, so I'm gonna put a jar in the refrigerator and I'll have to wait to tell you in a week how good it tastes, which I can't imagine it not being good. So that's Cowboy Candy. That's this version of Cowboy Candy. I'll keep you informed, and I'll come back later and tell you how good it is. See you later. Here we have Cowboy Candy. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for a few days so that the spices and everything can get kind of soaked up in together with the jalapenos. Yes, I did leave seeds. Whoops, I dropped one. I did leave seeds in these, so it's really good though. It's they're hot, but not too horribly hot, but they're sweet too. It's sweet and hot together. They're really tasty. It only made 3 jars, but they will keep in the refrigerator for about 3 weeks. We eat them with pinto beans or with tacos, on salads and sandwiches. They'll go a long way. So you may want to try yourself some Cowboy Candy. Yummy.